Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. It's Champions League week, so we are going to be doing some predictions in this episode today. But before we get into that, Ruben Amorim has been making headlines again. He is a topic that has come up very regularly, but I think that now we are getting closer than ever to that decision being made, which naturally brings about some discussion. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about what I think should happen, what I think is going to happen, why I think these things, and who I think the club should turn to if it comes down to it. And I want to hear your thoughts on that as well. But not only Ruben Amorim making headlines today, William Saliba's new contract at Arsenal has finally been announced. I haven't spoken about it in this week, even though there were rumors that it was pretty much a done deal. I don't like to jinx anything. Now that it is signed, I can finally talk about it on the show. I'm going to talk about what it means. I think there are a lot of levels to this. This isn't as simple as just a new contract for William Saliba. I think there's a much bigger picture. And I'm going to try to make that picture a little bit more vivid for you watching at home. Thank you as always for joining me. Please do give the video a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for more content. And let us just get straight into it. Ruben Amorim, there are reports coming out that his job is not completely safe. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised to hear that. I'm more surprised that his job has been safe for as long as it has been. It seems like it's getting down to it now after the recent loss to Brentford. Unacceptable in a lot of ways, not only the result but the performance, and it's obviously everything that goes along with it. Manchester United still have not got back-to-back Premier League wins since Ruben Amorim, which is understandable when you consider the fact that since Ruben Amorim has come in, he's gotten 9 Premier League wins in 33 games. I genuinely believed in him once upon a time. I can't lie. I said on the show before, I believed in him. I was wrong. I don't think that there's anything to warrant or justify him staying. I don't even agree with the narrative of you need to give him time now. I think any other manager, you can give time. But any manager with a record like this, nah, you've had your time, bro. You've had your time. It's clearly not working. I think a lot of it is 100% down to the players. I think in a lot of ways, Ruben Amorim is going to have to take the fall here. That sucks for him, but that's part of why being a football manager is such a high-pressure job. You know, the players do not look like they have any belief in themselves anymore, in the system. It is just rotten to the core at this point. I think it will make all the sense in the world if Manchester United do say their farewells to Ruben Amorim. You look at his next 3 games in the Premier League. Sunderland at home next, where once upon a time that may have looked like a guaranteed 3 points for Man United, a little bit of a pick-me-up. Now looking like a very different prospect entirely. I would be more surprised if Man United come out of that one with even 1 point. And then you look after that, it's Liverpool at Anfield. Honestly, depending on what happens in the Sunderland game, he may not make it to the Anfield game. And then after Liverpool, they get Brighton at home. And Brighton, they're an anomaly. We just saw them tear Chelsea apart at Stamford Bridge. So no matter how Brighton are looking come that game, there's every chance that Brighton are going to go into it as the favourites in some way. I don't see a way back for Ruben Amorim. I can't lie. I genuinely don't see it happening. Even without European football, I thought that would be a big pro for Manchester United this season. They're worse. They're worse than they were before, even with the new signings. And I don't see how you can turn it around. I genuinely don't. I think that it's going to be a Ruben Amorim parting ways with Man United. I'm sure they're going to dress it up very amicably. But honestly, I wonder if it's come a little bit too late. I don't know what he's done to his own reputation now in the footballing world. He will probably get himself another job. He is still someone that has a lot more experience than most managers, his age at least. Like he's someone that another club can take a punt on. Like I say, this Man United stint though, I think it just may leave a little bit of a sour taste when people think about bringing him in, because his stubbornness is a problem. If you're constantly telling people, I'm not going to change the way that I play, you're making it so easy for everybody to play against you. And the fact that he can't wrap his head around that alone is sackable. And that's why I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to get sacked. I don't think he's going to... I think if he makes it to the Liverpool game is his last. Especially if they get absolutely torn up at Anfield, which they very likely will. So yeah, I think that the next big question on everybody's mind is, where do they turn? Who do you turn to? I think they missed a trick with Nuno. He's obviously taken the West Ham job now. They had a little bit of a new manager bounce where they got 1 point in their game against Everton last night. But Nuno's off the table. So who else do you go to now? I was speaking to Russ, and Russ, he made a very good point in that, like, Oliver Glasner, I think, is an absolutely solid shout for Manchester United right now. But when you consider the trajectory of both clubs right now, why would he leave Crystal Palace for Manchester United? It wouldn't make any sense. But I think a lot of this depends on what the Crystal Palace board do in January, because we saw that Glasner did put his foot down when Mark Guehi was on his way to Liverpool on transfer deadline day. He offered his resignation if that move happened. that move is still very much on the cards and it could be happening in January. So if Glasner is still going to stay true to his guns, then he may become available if the board decide to sell Mark Guehi. It's a tough situation for them because it's either sell him in Jan or lose him for free at the end of the season. Maybe they can convince me to sign a new contract. What a turn of events that'd be. But yeah, Oliver Glasner to Manchester United. Let me know what you guys think of that appointment. I think it makes a lot of sense. I just don't think that it's very likely. But Manchester United are Manchester United, bro. Their name is their name, even when they are down in the dumps. Another manager that I think United could absolutely try their luck with, who I think would probably inevitably, he's like the dream, I would say, is Iraola at Bournemouth. But again, another manager where it's like, why would he leave what he's doing there for what's happening at Manchester United? But again, Man United are Man United. They may be able to tempt this guy. They are still a very nice prospect, I suppose. Just as much as everybody would probably dread being a manager who fails there, you probably can't help dreaming about being the guy that fixes things there. You could put your name in the history books forever. If you're the manager that comes through and you bring about a new era of Manchester United dominance, yeah, you are going to be a legend. So I feel like Iraola is someone that could appeal to. You know, he seems like someone that is tactful enough to coach his way to achieving that. But I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think should happen with Ruben Amorim. Who you think should come in and replace him. Personally, I think you let go of him early. You bring in someone like Oli to be interim manager till the end of the season. I'm very sure Oli would take the club up on that offer. He's currently unemployed still. And yeah, you ride it out till the end of the season. Do your due diligence on every coach and hire someone new at the appropriate time. Not another mid-season appointment. Like, give Oli the job for now, let him steady the ship, and then put some proper thought into a long-term manager. And that's my thoughts on it. Let me know yours in the comments below. On to the William Saliba news now. And this is huge, bro. This is like a new signing type of stuff. Looking back, it's kind of hard to imagine that we would be at this point, because when Arteta came in, it looked like we were going to lose William Saliba. His first order of business was sending Saliba out on loan to Saint Etienne in France. And look, he did well there, but naturally he wanted to play for Arsenal. He came back, went out on loan again, did well again, made the team of the year, but there were all the stories coming out that he was getting frustrated with how Arteta isn't giving him a chance at Arsenal. Fast forward to now, and this guy signed on for another 5 years, signed until 2030. He signed until he himself is pretty much 30 years old, so he is committed. And that is, I think, the first point to bring up around what this contract signing means. He's committed. He believes in the project. That is not just him, because Big Gabby at the back signed his extension earlier on in the transfer window as well. So Saliba isn't alone. I think that this is a reflection of what's happening throughout the whole squad. Team harmony is there, bro. One for all for one. These players want to succeed together or they want to fail together. And I think that is a recipe for success that's going to take us a long way. It already has taken us a long way, if we're being brutally honest here. It's taken us a long way from where we were before Arteta came in. So yeah, I think this is a massive stamp of approval. Any other player that has maybe been on the fence about extending their deal, you see someone like Gabriel sign a new deal, you see someone like William Saliba extend their time here, it makes you feel committed as well. I think that has a domino effect in a very positive way. It shows that there's a lot of belief in the project, but it also shows that there's a lot of belief in Mikel Arteta, which is my next point on this. Any Arteta outers who are watching this video, he is here to stay, brother. It doesn't matter what happens, win, lose or draw, whether we get a trophy this season or not, Mikel Arteta is here for the long run. I am all for it. I can't lie. I'm an absolute supporter of this guy as our coach. I think he's done miracles with this team. I think he's here to stay, because William Saliba is not signing on to play for a different rando coach. Unless something catastrophic happens, Arteta is here to stay. And I think that these players extending their deals are just further evidence of that. These players clearly like playing for him as well. There's no shortage of good comments to make about the manager. There's no shortage of new signings saying in their interviews that Arteta is what made them, believe that this was the right move for them. And he's done really, really good work with the players at his disposal. He's a solid coach. So there's only reasons why I can say he should stay. So the decision makes absolute sense to me. But again, I think this is just another stamp of approval, not only from the board, but now from your players. You're looking at what's happening at Manchester United. You've seen it at plenty clubs before, where players don't want to play for a manager. I think Arsenal have a team of players that want to play for this manager. I can't pick out a single concern. There's no potential bad apple in the bunch. Everybody is committed to this project. They are committed to this manager. And that's why I think Arteta is here to stay, which 100% in my opinion, the right choice. Something else I think this extension shows is that Real Madrid can be beat. Everybody knew that Real Madrid had been speaking to William Saliba. They wanted to pick him up on a free. Everybody knew that was the plan. And we beat them. William Saliba saying no to Real Madrid, that's huge. I think that could also have a little bit of a ripple effect in the transfer market. Real Madrid, normally it's just easy pickings for them, you know. William Saliba turning them down, signing a 5-year deal as well. That's huge, bro. Because even if Madrid do decide to change their mind now, they're at least going to have to pay a big fee for him to tempt Arsenal into accepting anything. So, at the very least, we're not going to have a Trent Alexander-Arnold situation on our hand. But Liverpool may have another one with Konate, because William Saliba extending, I think, absolutely guarantees that Real Madrid are coming in for Konate as soon as they can. So, Liverpool got their work cut out for themselves there in the defense department again. I'm just happy that at Arsenal we don't. We've tied down the best centre-back partnership in the league for the next 5 years. That is massive, bro. I think this is huge on a number of levels. It's huge for the club to actually tie down a player of his quality. We're so used to losing these players, bro. So it's nice to tie them down now. All I want to see next is Bukayo Saka, which according to most reports, that is very much on track to happen. So good time to be an Arsenal fan. Very good time to be an Arsenal fan. Hopefully an even better time to be an Arsenal fan after tonight's games. Champions League football is on. I'm going to start with the Arsenal preview just because we are here. But there is obviously that massive game between Chelsea and Benfica, who are now coached by Jose Mourinho, that we have to look forward to. I think Liverpool have a very tricky game against Galatasaray away. And then there's that mammoth fixture between Barcelona and PSG. Two of the competition favorites, I would say. So, yeah. The Arsenal one I want to start with as well, just because it's pretty much the least I have to say in terms of fixture previews. On paper, Arsenal should 100% win this. We are playing at home. We are also playing against West Ham at home this weekend, so very little need to really rest any players. Lots of opportunity to rotate again, because all due respect to Olympiacos, they do not have a squad that is as good as Arsenal. I think that from front to back we are better even with our B team. So I'm expecting rotation tonight. It is a good opportunity to get some more minutes into some of the squad players' legs like Norgard. The more minutes he gets, the better. This is a good opportunity for him. And yeah, I'm expecting a comfortable Arsenal win. I can't lie. So I'm going to go with an Arsenal 2-0 win here. I think we continue the 100% record run so far in the Champions League. 2 games in, I know, but I'll take what I can get, bro. I'm just hoping that Gyökeres gets on the score sheet. I think he needs one for his confidence, definitely. I think Bukayo Saka could do with a goal or assist as well. And Ben White to start. I would like to see Ben White get a start, I can't lie. And Hincapié, if he's fit, this will probably be a good opportunity for him to get a first run out in a competitive game. Right, now, moving on to Chelsea versus Benfica. This is a tricky one, man. I think anytime an ex-manager comes back to your club, it's always like, you know, edge of your seat stuff. And Jose Mourinho has played against Chelsea quite a few times. Going back to his time as Inter coach, he's got 5 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses against Chelsea. So hasn't had the most wins against them, but he does have enough to make this an interesting fixture. And obviously the narrative not only of him coming back to Chelsea, but him being back at Benfica, you know, where his coaching career started. I think that there's a lot of emotion to this one. It's going to be a very interesting one for Jose Mourinho in particular. I'm very keen to see him get one up on Chelsea. I can't lie. Probably a good time for him to play them. Benfica, obviously, on paper, not the greatest team in the world, but I think under Jose Mourinho and the fact that Benfica are still a decent squad, let's not forget that, he could probably steal some points off of Chelsea. It is the league phase, so every win counts. Chelsea, they're a little bit fragile at the moment. Enzo Maresca is going to be in his head, I think, playing against Jose Mourinho just because of the fact that he is the Chelsea icon of icons as far as managers are concerned. So I think that there's a lot that is at stake here tonight. And if Chelsea are still going to be without Cole Palmer, we know what they look like without him. In the Champions League, though, Chelsea do know how to get the job done. So their defense is going to be the biggest concern here, as it always will be until January at least, where they'll probably spend another billy. And then, yeah, in goal, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's going to be a tricky one for Chelsea. There's no two ways about it. And I am going to lean towards a Benfica win here. I decided to lean towards Chelsea when they played against Brighton. I was horribly wrong. I'm going to try and learn from my mistakes here, and I think that Jose Mourinho is going to get a victorious return to Stamford Bridge, only not with Chelsea. And this also could probably be one of Enzo Maresca's last games in charge if it doesn't go well for him. On to Galatasaray versus Liverpool. tough game for Liverpool, bro. Very tough game. I think it's very easy to go, oh, it's just Galatasaray. Have you looked at their squad, bruv? They've got some decent players there. They can cause Liverpool some serious problems. They got Osimhen, they got Lucas Torreira, they got Icardi. They've also got Gundogan and Leroy Sané, bruv. So considering Liverpool's current defensive dilemma, that's a lot of attack that can really punish you. And I think Liverpool could genuinely be in for a shock here. That Galatasaray atmosphere in general, even just watching from the TV, is intense. So I think Liverpool, obviously, they've got an intense order of their own with Anfield, but I just think this Galatasaray shit's different, bro. I genuinely do. I think that these players are going to want to really show and prove themselves against Liverpool, who also, much like how Chelsea are kind of there for the taking. I think Liverpool looking a little bit fragile, particularly in defense, and that's why I think that Galatasaray can punish them. And I think they're gonna. I think it's not gonna be the best night for English clubs tonight. I think Arsenal's gonna carry the torch, and Newcastle as well. But I'm actually gonna back Galatasaray to get us an unexpected win. I'll call it unexpected because I think the bookies will have Liverpool as favourites. But I think Galatasaray are gonna cause an upset here tonight, bruv. And I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 3-1 humbling for Liverpool. And Liverpool are going to have to make some tough decisions, not only on the pitch tactically, but on the pitch with regards to who they feel. Because this weekend, Liverpool versus Chelsea, both Liverpool and Chelsea have to make some big decisions. You don't want to pick up an injury now, bruv. This is not what you need before a big weekend like this. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And for those reasons, I am going to back Galatasaray for a win. Let me know what you guys think for this one. Man City are going to Monaco. I think this is the another tricky fixture for an English club. Man City obviously not 100% all there. Monaco looking quite decent. And Sufati in particular is in some serious form right now. But unfortunately, still no Paul Pogba. But to be honest, I think Pogba or no Pogba, and good form or no good form for Monaco, I think Man City will probably come out of this one with a point. I'm going to say a point. I'm not going to say Man City win this one. I think Monaco also deserve a little bit more respect. I'm going to sound like a hater just because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I genuinely do think that Man City are not the fierce Man City that everybody were once worried about. And I think Monaco can take advantage of it, much like Benfica against Chelsea, much like Galatasaray against Liverpool. I think it's going to happen again here. And I'm going to say this one will probably be a 2-2. Because there will be goals. There usually are goals between these clubs. I'm going to say 2-2 here. Points will be shared. Spurs are away to Bodo Glimt. Could be the exact game that they need right now. They played them twice last season in the Europa League. Beat them twice. And now they're playing them at a time where they really need A, a good performance, but B, a good win to go with that performance. And this could be a pretty big piece of luck for Spurs. This could be the pick-me-up that they need, especially going into this weekend where they need to start getting a string of, like I said, good performances and good wins together. But yeah, I think that this is probably going to be a solid, straightforward day at the office for them. I don't know how they're going to line up. I don't think there's much opportunity to rotate players much because they need a win. And I'm going to say Spurs win this one 2-0. And then the last English club in action this week is Newcastle. They are playing USG. They're currently top of the Belgian Pro League. They're ahead of Club Brugge, who, you know, I think Club Brugge definitely deserve a lot more respect from the footballing community. So, in my opinion, the fact that they are ahead of them in their domestic league, I think that says something. This may not be the easiest fixture for Newcastle. I do think that Newcastle also have a little bit more bite to them at the moment, probably even more after the Arsenal defeat. And I think that's going to help carry them over the line. I also think that just physically, they are probably going to be a bit much for USG. All due respect to the Belgian Pro League, I think that Newcastle are going to come through to bully them, and they'll bully their way to a win. And I'm going to say they'll win this one 3-1. I don't think it's a clean sheet, but I think they'll get a win here. And this is also going to be a little bit of a pick-me-up for Newcastle. They haven't had the best start to the Premier League season, so they do need some winning momentum to take with them. A game like this coming at a pretty good time, in my opinion. And that does it for the fixtures, for the news. Let me know your thoughts on all the above in the comments below about the Ruben Amorim situation, about William Saliba signing his new deal. Was it a good decision by the defender? Was it the wrong decision by the defender? I've seen all the jokes now about, oh, he said goodbye to trophies. I think we will see who has the last laugh come the end of this season, my friend. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Also, your predictions for the Champions League games. That massive one that is coming up between Barcelona and PSG. Honestly, whoever wins it, but I think it's just going to be a really good game of football. Let me know your predictions on that one. I'm not going to predict a winner there because honestly, right now, I just got tunnel vision for Arsenal and the English clubs, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to enjoying that one. Sucks that it's at the same time as the Arsenal game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all of that, your predictions. Thank you guys as always for watching the video. Don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one.